Hello, everybody. This is Jessica with the Two Sticks and String podcast, which is a podcast about knitting, crochet, cross-stitching, and cats. So, I mean, what's more important than cats, right? Okay. First off, I want to say a big hi to all of my new viewers. I've had a huge uptake lately, so I want to say thank you so much for spending time with me, and I want to say welcome back to all of my returning viewers. If for some reason you are not subscribed, make sure to double check below. Hit that subscribe button, lets me know that you appreciate it. And when we get to 300 subscribers, we're doing a giveaway. So if you haven't subscribed yet, we can't have the giveaway until we hit that number. So make sure to do that. Click the bell if you really love my stuff and want to see it right when it comes out. Lately, I've been doing really well about having a podcast episode one week and having a little extra the following week. I do have some of those coming up for the future still. The parade of project bags will be coming, as is the progress marker parade. I'm going to do them separately just because sometimes people love to see bags and don't care about progress keepers and vice versa. And I also think it's just going to be super ridiculously long if I put them together. So putting them separately gives it a more bite-sized piece. I have said in the past before that I am still moving into this room and organizing everything. You'll also notice, if you pay attention, nothing has changed in the past few weeks. That is because I've been going to therapy, as I've said before on here multiple times. I've just had a few rough weeks, and so this is not a priority for me. Working on mental health is. I do want to make it clear, mental health is something very important to me. If you are ever struggling, please feel free to send me a message. I am there for you. I've been there, and I'm always a good ear to just listen. I don't have to give solutions unless you want me to, but I'm always a good ear. So, with that said, I don't want it to ever be something you're ashamed of or I'm ashamed of. I'm very open about it and struggling with it, and I think it helps remove the stigma behind it. So, because it puts a face to the name of the health issue. And I think it's important to help break that stigma. So, that's my little unexpected soapbox rant for today. If you do want to get in touch with me for any of those purposes, you can find me on Instagram as Armywifeknitlife or Armywifeknitlife D-stash, all one word. And you can find me on Ravelry as Armywifeknitlife, or you can pop into the Ravelry group, which is a Two Sticks and String podcast. Just look for Patrol the Owl, and you'll know you're in the right spot. Also, I want to make a special shout out to my darling friend Heather, who last time when I was recording, I got everyone else in my little friend group other than her, and I feel so terrible, Heather. I apologize. I had been recording and I thought I'd gotten everyone in there, and I was editing and I said, oh no, I forgot these two, and I thought that I had just heard your name in passing as I was watching, and I didn't. So welcome home. I apologize. There's no place like home. Alright, so with that said, let's get on with the show. You'll notice I am wearing a knitted object. No, I did not knit this. My darling friend Alex from the Houndstrings podcast made this for me for Christmas last year. And off the top of my head, I could not tell you what the pattern is, but I do know that it is candy skein yarn in the marrow milk tea colorway. Can't remember if that's a true thing or not, but I think it's pretty close. Alex, I know you're watching. If it is wrong, please put it in the comments below so that other people will know what it is. Okay, let's get into some finished objects. I only have one finished object and I have two half objects. So let's get started. First up, hasn't even been blocked yet, is my Demelza cowl. This was not even cast on last we spoke. This was my knitting Nikabi yarn in the Sugar Plum and Chimchurri colorways. It is her DK base. It is naturally dyed, non-superwash merino, that is mulesing free. And this pattern, so fun, so simple. I did a looser stretchy bind off up at the top just because sometimes I have a big head, let's be honest. So it's a little bigger up top than at the bottom, but blocking will make it all even and you would never know the difference. I also want to point out though that this side is pretty, but so is this side. So if there's a day that you want to be a little more neutral, you totally could. And I think that's something really special about this pattern. It's super clear and easy to read. As I said, it's my friend Knitting Nikabi. Her name is Kelsey. It is available on Ravelry. Go check it out. It's worth the buy. I also have two half objects. We have, this is a sock for my Aunt Tracy. This is Nomadic Yarns in the Fairy Tales colorway. I only had the toe cast on last time we spoke. That is my Alpaca Dumbledore Progress Keeper. And this had not been cast on yet when you saw it. Also, this is a Alex Workshop Design sock blocker. My apologies. I call it my Hamilton Star blocker. This is Desert Vista Dye Works in the Heather in the Highlands colorway on her Zian base, which is her 7525 merino nylon stellina base. It does sparkle because, as I constantly say to anyone who knows me, a girl's favorite color is shiny. I don't make the rule. I just follow it. Lighting is going to be a little off today, guys, because there are planes flying overhead and lots of clouds, so it's going to change throughout the episode. I apologize. This is on my Polish sock blockers. As always, I will make sure to put the name right down here for you so you can check out her shop. That's all my finished objects or half objects, guys. So let's get on to whips. We have the second sock of my Fairy Tales sock pattern. Sorry, my yarn is getting caught. So I will go ahead and I will put the Progress Keeper on this to move it. When we come back, I'm a little way through the foot. These are being knit on my Knit Picks Caspian sock needles. I knit all magic loop. They are 27 stitches per side for both my aunt and myself. I believe these are 1.5. I couldn't tell you for sure. But I absolutely adore this yarn. And I really like knitting socks. There's something mindless that when I just don't have brain space in the day, I can work on them easily and not have to worry about messing up too badly. The second pair that I'm working on for her is in the Serious colorway, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this light on, so hopefully we can get a little bit more of the, there we go, color variation seen. It has this beautiful purple stripes, as you can see here and here. I do have the heel in for this one, and these are on the Knit Picks Majestic needles. Also Nomadic yarns in the Serious colorway. This is, I believe, just her regular sock yarn. I think it's a twist. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's a merino sock base. It's not Spark sock because it doesn't have stellina. It's not Tough sock because it doesn't have BFL. That's all I can tell you, unfortunately. My final sock whip is my DVD colorway, Heather in the Highlands. So it is just the start of a toe. I've been trying to focus on getting things finished for one of my knitting group challenges. I will tell you about it after we finish whips. So we're almost there, you guys. My next whip, I feel like I'm going really fast today, y'all. I'm sorry if I am. I think I'm just a little anxious still left over from yesterday, so everything is moving 10 miles in a minute, it feels like. My next whip is my sweater. And y'all really love this. And I am so glad you love it because I love it too. This is the Find My Way sweater by Dragon Horde Designs, aka Tristan. And I'm trying to get this cable over here to move. There we go. Look at that beautiful cable work, you guys. My goal for this month was to get 4 new cables added on, and I did. So I did a little digging because we're getting to that point in the body where I need to start figuring out where to put the sleeves in. I'm 15 inches into the body. I only need to get to 18 to separate for sleeves. So I am making progress, and that makes me feel so good because I want to be able to wear this come fall. So the yarn is not available for purchase. It's something that my friend dyed for me. The Progress Keeper, however, is available for purchase from Simply Serving. It is my swan marker, and as we've discussed, it makes me think of BTS. Huh, they made it in yet again. The other important keeper on here is my beginning of round marker. It's from my friend Cynthia, and she is What Sin Made on Instagram for if you want to purchase things from her, and that's Sin, C-Y-N, like the first 3 letters of the name, Cynthia. Go check her out. She's based in London. These were a Christmas gift for myself and a few of the other girls that are knitters and in love with BTS like I am. I'm not the only one, you guys. All right, my last whip is my Socrates shrug. I have to tell you something with this, guys. I'm looking at my goal sheet right here from the month. We're going to go over it in a second before we get to acquisitions and chat. My goal for it this month was to finish the first colorwork chart, which, as you can see here, I did. I even started a little bit on the next portion just so I could get through and know where I was. It wasn't like I would pick it up and say, oh, do I have more to finish on this? No, there's no doubt at this point where I'm at in pattern. Fun secret about this, though, is that I finished this goal on February 28th. So before March even started, I had already met this goal, which I am very grateful for. Also, my Find My Way sweater, which I call my Shadowland sweater, as I've said, is because of Lion King, the musical. There's a song in there called Shadowland, and one of the most powerful lyrics in it is, I will find my way. I apologize for the singing. It's very out of tune right now. But this is being knit on Knit Pro Zings in a US size 8. And it's an interchangeable, I believe it's a 32-inch cord. And this is size 9 Knit Pro Zings with a 16-inch cord. This is knit out of Caron 1 pound in the off-white and violet colorways. My Progress Keepers on here, I only have the one. It's a little bee cupcake, again from Simply Serving, because I'm a loyal person. When I find a company or a business that I like, I tend to stick to them. And then this is just a little owl Progress Keep beginning round marker that my friend Logan gave me when I had just arrived in Germany and she was still in Italy at the time. Okay, that is it for whips, other than my cross stitch, which, let's be honest, it only got like 5 stitches added in, and I can't show you it anyway because it is a secret stitch still, so I'm not even going to show it to you. It's not worth it. Okay, my goals for the month were to finish the first colorwork chart on my Socrates shrug, which I did. My second goal is to knit my DVD socks and 2 pairs of socks for my Aunt Tracy. I've got 2 socks out of 6 done, so I have 3 in progress. I don't think that's too bad for the 12th of the month. We have 4 cable repeats on the Find My Way sweater, which I have accomplished. I cast on and finished the Demelza cowl, so I think that is bonus points right there. And then I also have the Miss K crochet shawl. Start and finish it. I do have the yarn pulled out for it. It's Caron 1 pound in black. However, I only have one skein in black, and then I have a bunch of leftovers. So I'm probably gonna be digging in my scrap bin or leftover bin of blacks. And yes, I know it is hard to match black yarn to other black yarns, but I am so sure that there is other Caron 1 pound black in there. I'll be able to make something work. I have to, right? And even if it's just, you can get by most of the shawl with the one skein. It's the fringe that takes up the other half of the yarn that's really not covered by the skein. And I think the fringe will be fine if it's not exactly the same black. So I think that's pretty awesome for my goals. I'm doing this as we've said that I am working on goals for the month to help with my depression and give me goals. Berlin is playing with yarn in the background. Say hello. Oh goodness, I love my cats. They typically don't play in my yarn, which is nice, but sometimes they do. But anyways, goals for the month, they really help me stay focused and give me a purpose behind my knitting and determination. It also helps me with my stash count, which there's a Ravelry group I am part of that also helps keep me on track for that. We had kind of last year and the year before, we had yoo-hoo, big stash blowout here. And I told you guys all about my spreadsheet that I use to track my yarn usage and what comes in and what goes out and what my difference is at the end of the year. And I do make progress. It's not always what I intend or what I set my goal out to be, but I do make progress, and that's important. Last year, I was really good about tracking it up until July, and then I kind of stopped. Last year was not a good knitting year for me. I didn't accomplish a lot. I got my socks done for Desert Vista Dye Works every week, but that's kind of it. So this year I went in with the intention of really focusing and paring down, and I destashed a lot. There's still destash available, by the way. And I'm really just focusing on trying to move the yarn that I don't see myself using in a few years, and we really, 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 I know I've said this before, you guys, I know, we really want to go to Korea as our next duty station, and storage is just not something that I can count on having there. So I need to get my stash down. So I joined this Ravelry group called Knit Picks and More Stash Down. And they do what's called yarn tiaras. And they are not real tiaras. They are hypothetical tiaras. But as we've said before, girls' favorite color is shiny, even if it's hypothetical shiny. So I wanted to win some tiaras. So I signed up for the no purchasing fiber tiara, which I'm still going strong on. I have lots of fiber in my closet, just waiting to be spun. My goal is once shops are opening again, I'm going to go to our local yarn shop and get some spinning lessons, since I have these two wheels that I don't know how to use. But so that is one of the tiaras. I'm not allowed to buy a single ounce of roving. Not allowed for me to purchase it. I can't ask someone to purchase it for me. I can accept it if it's gifted, but I still don't want to have that happen. I also signed up for the weight tiara and the yardage tiara. And what those are is you are supposed to have a net difference of 6,000 grams and 1,300 yards in your stash by the end of the year. And it's not just, okay, I have knit 6,000 grams, I'm done. No, 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 no. It has to be the difference between what you have brought in and what you have used. You still need to have 6,000 between the two. This is about adjusted gross, I think is the right word here, or net total. The net difference, we'll use that one. 6,000 total, negative, out of stash permanently, has not been replaced. There. Completely clear, right? Same goes for the 13,000 yards. So that's a lot of knitting, you guys. So I am tracking it, and this month we had this event called I Declare War. And you just had to come up with a silly story. And so I used my Demelza cowl as it was fighting victoriously on the battlefield and was in anticipation, waiting to be ready and worn. And it was almost like the little drummer boy coming up and saying, give me attention, focus on me, and get me done. So I had declared war on DK weight and worsted weight projects as a way to kind of focus and get some finished yardage, because project yardage in grams only count when the project is done. Same goes for I Declare War. So if anything that I want to count for, it has to be finished this month. So I got my Demelza cowl done because it's in DK weight. I'm going to be doing this crochet shawl in worsted weight, so it will count too. And I believe there is a pattern prize at the end of the month. It's random number generated. So I wouldn't mind getting a new pattern. That's nice. But I knew that there was no feasible way I could get my sweater done or my Socrates shrug. So I decided to focus on those two. And then anything else I get done at the end of the month is extra and awesome. So if I finish anything extra, I've decided I'm going to put the ripple bralette that I really wanted it. It's going to go to the side. All of those extra projects I talked about last time, wanting to cast on the new boxy and the ripple bralette, not going to do it because I hadn't measured how close I was to my sweater panel, to my separation for the sleeves. When I said that, I really want to separate for sleeves. So if I get extra time, that's what my knitting time is going to be on. Okay, so if you want to join the Ravelry group, you are more than welcome to. Yardage tiaras, all the tiaras are closed for the year. You have to sign up for those in January. However, I think the Even Stevens challenge is going on in there that you could participate in. And they're just a bunch of ladies for if you're wanting to focus on stashing down and you need some support to not go buy things on sale or at stores, or like Knit Picks is currently having its green sale where my favorite color yarn is 40% off right now. I have to resist. I can go in there and talk to them about it, and they'll say, well, look at your stash. Find this instead. And it's really helpful. They're a great bunch of ladies. I like them. With that said, we have acquisitions, which seems redundant and silly since I'm trying to stash down. But only one thing is yarn. The rest is cross-stitch stuff. So we will go ahead and get the cross-stitch done, the knitting done first. The knitting is this gorgeous skein. It is not a Knit Pick skein. I know it says Knit Pick stroll fingering. That's just the bare yarn that was used in the dyeing of this. This is from Natty Bow Yarn Co., which is, if you watch a Lefty Knitter podcast, her husband dyes this yarn. I believe this is Don't Let the Spoon Rest. I can't remember 100% what it is. I believe so. I will double check. Give me 2 seconds because I bought it on Etsy. I'll be able to tell you. I have to unlock my phone. Okay, let's see here. Knitty Bow Fiber Co. And it is the Don't Use the Spoon colorway. I wasn't too far off. It's beautiful. It's a fingering weight. I love it. I can't wait to use it. And I really wanted to cake it up, but I didn't because I need to be on the podcast like this first. 2 more acquisitions, y'all. Okay. This is from Edwards Company. I grabbed it at Michael's on sale. It is a universal craft stand. It's wooden. I really wanted a Lowry stand, but this was on sale, as I said. I'm more about budget right now than I am about having the ultimate thing, and since I'm still new to cross stitch, I figured this will work for now. And if I do end up doing it more often and more frequently in the future, then I can invest in the other stand. Because that one's a metal stand. I haven't put it together yet, as you can see. It's still in the box. I wanted to show it in the box first. And then I also said I was going to start my sister's cross stitch before I came back here, and that has not happened because I told you guys I was waiting for the cone of yarn to come. Not yarn, cone of floss. And I told you guys it was like 500 grams, but I think in yarn terms, and I'm like, oh, 5 skeins of yarn, that's not a big deal. But when it's embroidery floss, it's a big deal. This was it's so big. I had to show you guys before I touched it at all because I needed to record this for posterity. Do you see this? Look at how thick that is. That is ridiculous. It is 2,100 meters of embroidery floss. Do you see how thin that is? That's crazy. I think it'll take me 12 years to work through this. That's a lot. I mean, I'm trying to think. I have a tape measure here. It's from Arkansas Yarn Co. And I mean, it's a average size tape measure, but that shows you it's pretty big. So I just thought I would show you that. All right, and then, oh goodness, Bella decided to knock over my cross stitch stand. I guess she doesn't like it very much. I had promised last time that there's a picture I normally keep right in this basket of BTS boys. I told you I would bring it up this time. It's a piece of fan art. It's laminated for protection. And this is a real picture that they then put into their iPad and just kind of colored over and recreated. So these are my boys from BTS. We have Jungkook. We have RM, my favorite. Real name is Kim Namjoon. We have Kim Taehyung, which is V. We have Jung Ho Suk, which is J-Hope. We have Park Ji-min, which is Jimin. We have Kim Sok-jin, which is Jin, and then Min Yoongi, which is Suga, aka August D. He is August D only when he's doing his solo rapping mixtapes and things, because his style with that is different than what he does with the group. RM and Jungkook, just Jungkook, or JK, everyone calls him JK, and V, actually Hobie too, all have their own separate mixtapes, or will have them coming out in the future. So if you're interested, keep your eyes out. He has at least one out. He has 2 out. His is coming soon. His is coming soon. His has been out for a while. He does a cover of Chicken Noodle Soup. That is awesome. So I just want to show that because I think, yes, I love BTS and I have to share them with you. But I also just think that the artwork behind it, the talent, deserves to be recognized regardless of who was in the photo. So that's that. Life update. There isn't too much happening right now. I mean, everything is still shut down. We have a 3-day weekend this week, and we are going to have a day trip up to Raleigh, and that's about an hour drive away. We're not going to do anything crazy. We're going to the Museum of Natural History while we're there. If we even end up going, who knows? Half the time we say we're going to go and we're like, I'd rather stay at home. So who knows if we'll go or not. It'll just be a day trip though. If we do go, we will also stop by Cary, North Carolina, because they have what's called H Mart there, and that is this huge Asian grocery store. And my husband loves Korean food, so we'll probably go and get him some kimchi, get a few other random goodies, fun things that we like. So it's kind of it. The cats are doing really well. They finally weigh enough that they can use their litter robot, so they're using that at night now, and and throughout the day too. But I'm really excited about that because it means less scooping of their other litter box. I also wanted to address, I put up a empty house tour of my home in Germany last week, and there were comments on it, and I wanted to make it very clear so that there was no doubt. I loved my time in Germany. You guys know this. I do think, well, I feel bad for people that are currently stationed there right now, because the whole point of getting to go is to be able to experience and travel and see the culture, and those are things that you don't get to do right now. With that said, people that are getting stationed there are saying that it's a terrible place to be, and I think that's sort of an unfair judgment, because anywhere you go right now, nowhere is fun to be. It's not fun being in Fort Bragg. There's nothing to do. And we don't know anyone, so it's not like we can go hang out with friends. And even if we did, we would still have to be extremely cautious, and it's almost not worth it. Although I will say my husband is vaccinated completely for COVID. He's had both jabs. He's good to go with precautions still in place. But, I mean, it's just nowhere is going to be fun during this pandemic. Europe has stricter lockdowns than the States. Yes, that's true. However, Europe as a whole does not have the same issue that we do, which is why, yes, you might be envious of the people that are stateside because they get to go out to eat at restaurants and stuff, but we also are still having our numbers increase every day because we're able to do that, whereas they are nipping it in the bud and getting things taken care of. So yes, it's stricter, but it's for a reason. So I know that there were comments on there that were pretty much how terrible it is. And it's true, some people just don't like Germany, and that's okay. But I think it's unfair to judge a duty station based off of how good of a time you're having there when you're there amidst COVID. I can understand if you've been there a little while and decide, yeah, not for me. But if you've been there for a year and a half and a year of that time has been spent in lockdown, it's not a fair judge of where you're at. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope that anyone who's wanting to get vaccinated can get vaccinated soon. I know that I am ready to go and get mine because I would like to be covered by the time we go to Myrtle Beach in May. Don't know if it'll happen, but I can have hope, and that's not a bad thing. But until I see you guys next time, do what makes your heart sing. For me, that's 2 sticks and string. See ya!